guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my weekly update for April 24th, 2022. So this week was very different from the last few weeks I've had. I rediscovered audiobooks. I don't know what. It was weird. I haven't listened to much audiobooks since January before my position changed at work. And for some reason this week I thought, you know what, let's listen to some stuff when I'm doing other stuff around work, and it really worked out, and I read a lot of things by audio this week, which kind of helped because I wasn't reading as much physically as I wanted to. So anyway, just to kind of get out of the way, yes, I got my hair cut and colored. So I might have cut it a little shorter than I meant to, but we'll see how I feel tomorrow when I have to do it for work. I don't know. We'll see what happens. My new glasses are back at the eye doctor's office because they were incorrect, the prescription. So I'm back to my old glasses. So that was this week. Kind of, that's it. I didn't have very much else. Yeah, it was a weird reading week. So let's just kind of get into it. So I finished 6 things, DNF'd 1, and have started several other books. And today I'm in a really weird reading mood. So I don't even know what today's going to be like. So we'll see. So let's talk about the books I finished, the ones I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm going to read in the next week. So Sunday, I didn't read a whole lot. I mean, it was Easter, and so my brother and I went to see my parents around lunchtime. So by the time I got back, I was like, I don't really want to read a whole lot. So I did start something, which I'll talk about in my currently reading stuff. But Monday, I got to work and I was like, I think I'm going to listen to an audiobook while I do this spreadsheet stuff, because that's a lot of data I'm going through right now. And so I picked up Project Hallmary again by Andy Weir. I had started it earlier in the month. I did listen to it for a day and got about a third of the way through it and really enjoyed it. But then I didn't pick it up again for 2 weeks. So I finally decided to pick it up. And I'm so glad I did. It was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I listened to it all that day. I finished the book, the audiobook that day. I listened to it all at work, and then I came home and listened to it for several hours through dinner and after dinner, just listening to it, just enjoying it because I just wanted to get it done because it was so good. I really enjoyed this book almost as much as I enjoyed The Martian. Maybe even, obviously they're really on par for me. They both do a lot of things that I like with humor, and I liked this character. He was different from the character in The Martian enough that to me it sounded completely different. The narrator the narrator for the audiobook was Ray Porter, and I really enjoyed his narration of this. I thought it was just really well done. We're following a man who wakes up and he doesn't know where he is. He's on a spaceship somewhere. He doesn't know where, and he's the only survivor of the crew, and he doesn't know what's going on. And it's his journey of figuring out who he is, what his mission was, and what was going on. And we get these flashbacks as he tries to remember things, and as what he learns about the spaceship that he's in and things that are going on. And this went in directions I did not fully expect. Some of them I kind of guessed were coming, but I think overall I didn't know where this was going to end. And I thought, I had inklings at some point, so but I still liked the ride. Like, it was just really good. I really liked this character for the way his humor was different from the character from The Martian. I think some people thought it was kind of the same, but it really wasn't. The science stuff sounds kind of the same because they both very scientific on things they describe and stuff. But I love that part. That was the part I really liked about all the real science that's put into this fake story. I just love that. It was just fun. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I'm so glad I listened to it and got through it. I will definitely be buying a physical copy of it. I really enjoyed it. It was really a great audiobook, and I would recommend that. So then I was going to do a reread listen to something, and it didn't load on my phone because, again, I got the new phone a couple weeks ago, and so not everything I had loaded up. Anyway, it didn't load, so I had to listen to the only thing I had loaded on my phone, and that was the Sherlock Holmes stories. So I listened to the last one of that audiobook, which is His Last Bow, which is not the last collection in Sherlock Holmes. I don't know why the audiobook that I had from Stephen Fry only goes through His Last Bow. Anyways, but I listened to His Last Bow for those short stories, and I really enjoyed them overall. They were all very interesting and different. Very Sherlock Holmes, like nothing too spectacular, but they were just fun, and I really enjoyed listening to them. And so now I'm almost done with the Sherlock Holmes reading. I just have the last collection, which is not on that audio, which is still weird. But I'll listen to them. I'll probably read them sometime, maybe this summer. I don't know. I'll pick a month where I'll have 12 stories in here, so maybe I can read one every couple days. I just want to get through it and say I finished the Sherlock Holmes series this year. This is one of the series I would like to finish. So I'm one step closer. I did not expect to pick up another Sherlock Holmes book this month after finishing The Valley of Fear, because I hated that so much. But I'm glad I went on and did enjoy the stories in this. So I'm glad I continued. And so another step on my Sherlock Holmes journey. So hopefully I'll get that done. This is the audiobook that I was meant to start on Tuesday, but I didn't get started till Wednesday after I finished His Last Bow. And that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I have the audiobook that has by Andy Serkis, who is the actor who does Gollum or Smeagol. Anyway, so I hadn't read The Hobbit probably about 10 years, or whenever the movies came out. I reread it right before that. And I'd forgotten, when I watched the movies, I knew that there was a lot of stuff added, but I'd forgotten how much it does actually follow the book. So I felt a little better about those movies now that I've reread this, and I enjoyed it. Again, the audiobook was really well done by Andy Serkis, and so I would recommend those. I got them on the Audible sale when they had the Tolkien Day or something. So I really enjoyed it, though. And it was great to revisit this. And I'm hoping to revisit the rest of the series this year, because I have never gotten to the Silmarillion. So I would like to read through this. I read through this, and then I want to do the Lord of the Rings, all 3 books, and then get to that. And just be able to say I've read that. I might not read all the other companion books, but I want to at least get to that one, because I've never done that. And then these are my cool little versions of the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. It's one of the things I spent the most money on not too long after being on BookTube. So I'm actually going through those, which is nice. Let's see here. So that's 3. What am I forgetting? I feel like I forgot a book. No, that's not right. So then the next book I finished on Friday was Burn For Me by Alona Andrews. This is the one I did a buddy read with Tia and All the Books. We read all the Kate Daniels series last year. So this year we're reading Hidden Legacy. And this was the first book. I hate this cover so very much. Anyway, so I have read this before. I've actually read it twice. But when I first read it, this was the only book out, so I couldn't continue. And I really enjoyed it then. And then I meant to read on, and it just never happened. So now we're going to do it. So this one follows Nevada, and she is a private investigator, and her company is I don't want to say that. There's a parent company who took over some of their debts, so they have to work when they say they have to work, and she's put on this job that's really out of her league, but she doesn't have a choice. And she's the only one in her family that is really the breadwinner, the one who is out working due to different circumstances. And her family is great. She's a great family dynamic in this book. I love it. And then she is trying to find a prime that's a magic user who is like top level and who's very good at magic. And she runs afoul of another prime who is a telekinetic, and they're back and forth. It's just fun. Anyway, so then they join forces to bring down the other guy and whatever he's involved in. And there's a lot of good action in here. A lot of the mystery stuff, normal urban fantasy stuff. This takes place in Houston, Texas, but again, it's an alternate world where magic was introduced in the late 1800s, and families are the magic families that like the primes come from, are they're like houses, and they like rule certain districts and stuff. And there's a lot of good magic stuff in this world. I like it. So I'm excited to read the next book and see where it goes. Both we're gonna read the next book, I think is White Hot, next month in May. It has an ugly cover as well, but we're just gonna push through. Sorry. So I really enjoyed this, which I usually do. I mean, Alona Andrews is definitely an author duo, because it's a husband and wife team that I'm really growing to like. I have almost all their books now that's in print, except for one of their series. I want to read them all. And then yesterday I finished 2 audiobooks. The first one was The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I listened to this at work on Friday, and then I listened to this a lot yesterday morning before my hair appointment, while I was doing stuff around the house. This is narrated by Danielle Henning. Really love this book. The audiobook is really good as well. I just wanted to reread it. I just felt the need to reread this book. I don't know if I just saw a lot of people pointing it out in the last month or so, but I've been thinking about it, and I was like, okay, it's time for a reread. And as you notice, my rereading is kind of picked up. April is usually a high rereading month for me, because I usually don't read as much in April, but this month is like one of my best reading months ever, probably. But a lot of it has been rereads, so it still kind of holds to my pattern of April for some reason. Anyway, so this is following Linus Baker, who is a caseworker for magical children who live in orphanages, and he usually goes in to evaluate them and things, and how the orphanages are run. And he is sent on a special mission to this one orphanage and the special children who are there, and he's supposed to report back on them and the man who's running the orphanage. So I love this book when it first came out. I read it several times already. I needed a reread for this year, or another one for this year. So this is the one I mean, this is what I wanted to reread this year at some point, and now I have. So we'll see. I might read it again. I just really enjoyed that. And then yesterday, while running errands after getting my hair done, the last audiobook I finished was every morning the way home gets longer and longer by Frederick Bachman. So this one is my first Bachman. I'm not really interested in most of his books. They just don't call to me. But this one, because it was a novella and I could get it from my library on audio really quickly, I just picked it up and got it. Okay. So this is one of those ones where I see why people love it or have great reactions to it. I think it is really well done. It is short and very impactful for what it is. It's just, to me, it's too short, and I guess to me it wasn't enough, but I still see why people like it and still see why it is popular and why I think other people should read it. It just didn't pull all my heartstrings for some odd reason. I'm not quite sure why. I can't put my finger on it, and I kind of think it's some of the way it's structured, but I see why he did that. So it's like, as a writer, I understand what he was putting forth and doing, and I see why other people react to it. For some reason, it didn't work like super well for me. And again, I don't believe I'm cold-hearted or anything like that. I did feel emotion, but it wasn't, not as much as I thought I was going to. I really thought it would do a lot more. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how to explain that, but I just don't know. It just wasn't quite sure on why it didn't work for me as well as others. I don't know if I'll read any more Bachman. I do have A Man Called Uwe, however he says his name, on my shelf. I'm still very tentative about picking up something contemporary like that. So we'll see, but we'll see. Anyway, so those are all the things I finished. Oh, the DNF was another audiobook that I got from the library that I tried, called Rosio by Denise Mina. Denise Mina. So this was narrated by Katie Leong. think that's how it said. Anyway, what I wanted to get from this was it's historical. It's about Mary Queen of Scots and about one of her advisors, Rosio, who is murdered, and in an attempt to make to upset Mary so much that she miscarries. And I think it's very interesting the way this is put together, but we jump heads so fast, so often, and I don't know the main characters of this story. It drops you in. If I knew the history better, I think I would like this better. So this is a book that's a DNF for now. I might come back to this after I've read more history. I do have a couple of biographies on Mary Queen of Scots that I would like to read. Sorry. I definitely want to read one this year if I can. I have, that's kind of a hopeful thing, but I think I might come back to this after that. I just didn't like this enough to continue, because even though I know what happens because it's historical, it was just jumping heads too much, and I didn't know who everybody was, and it was just too fast. It was a novella. It's not very long. I listened to an hour of it, so about 28 pages. And I think it's only about 100 and something, or under, I don't know. It's not very long. Oh, my throat is just dying here. Sorry. So I think I've heard really good things about this, but I also feel like I don't know enough history to make this worthwhile for me. So that's why I DNF'd it. I will, as I said, it's one of those ones where I might come back to, but I might not, because I might just want the history and just forget this. But anyway, that just didn't work for me either. And Cooper is being a dork. Yes, see, he's cute, but he's annoying. Okay, so what I'm reading right now, I started Spectre yesterday. This is book 2 in the Book of the Order by Philippa Ballantyne. Sorry. So I read, reread Geist last month. And this is not a series I can read back to back because they are just super dense. This is only 310 pages, but it takes me twice as long to read a page than it does in any other book that I've read in quite a while. I mean, it's pretty dense, as in for a mass market. It's just, I mean, there's spaces, but it's just like, I don't know. It's pretty dense, pretty small print. Anyway, my throat is really bothering me. Sorry. We're following Sorsha, who is a deacon, who's like a magic user in this world. She and her partner Merrick have been kind of thrown into the deep water in the last book, and this is kind of a continuation of things that's going on. The world is deals with geists, or creature inspectors and things like that, are from the other side, another dimension. And there's also very powerful beings that are also trying to get back to this dimension that they're in and trying to wreak havoc. So mostly that's what these are about. We follow, like I said, the 2 deacons, and then also the pretender to the throne, or he's like the grandson of the emperor who was dethroned. And so his family is, again, they're considered the pretenders, even though they used to be they used to be royalty, but they're not anymore, kind of thing. Anyway, so this is one of those books where I'm not sure how I feel about continuing this series. I don't hate it. Again, it's a very slow read. I'm still interested in these characters and what's going on in book 2, because again, it's moving on and more things are happening. It's only a 4-book series, but I don't know if I like it enough to continue the second, to read more of this. So I don't know. So I'm going to read this one and see how I feel. I don't know. I'm just kind of on the edge of, do I want to continue this series? I mean, do I really need to? I mean, it was nice to reread it, but it took forever to reread Geist. And then this is the 70 pages last night took forever. And I don't hate it. I just don't know if I like it enough to continue. I have so many books I want to read. I don't know. So that's kind of where that is. I did start earlier this week, Middle Game by Shauna McGuire. I have been meaning to read this for a while, just kind of got around to it. And since the second book, or companion in this series, oh, I can't remember the name of the series. It's like Alchemy or Alchemic Journeys or something like that. I don't remember what it was. Anyway, this one we're following Roger and Dodger, and I'm only 80 pages in, so they are children who are brought up on different sides of the US, but they're somehow connected to something that happens in the very beginning of the book, where somebody is trying to manipulate time and create godlike powers. I don't know a whole lot beyond that. So right now we're just getting to know Roger and Dodger and their situations as kids, which I think is really good. I don't know, it's just something about my reading right now is kind of, as I said, has kind of, dang it, my throat, sorry, has derailed maybe after reading so much early in this month. April is just not usually this high of a reading month. So now I think I'm kind of slowing down because and everything. And then I had an audiobook week, but I didn't read a lot of things physically. So I don't know. But I still want to get this done. This is my Tome Topple book. So Tome Topple is taking place. It finishes on Thursday. It is put on by Sam at Thoughts on Tomes. And I think it's round 16. So I was trying to get at least one 500-page book in here because I have not been reading any big books at all this year. Most of the series books I'm reading are shorter, which is fine. I should read some big books. So anyway, I'm still interested in this one. I did get the audio from my library, so I have that as a backup. I'm going to try to read some of this today and decide if I'm going to go audio route or if I'm going to go keep going the physical. I don't know, but I have a backup plan for that one, so we'll see. We'll see what happens on that one. And then I think that's kind of it. I would like to maybe sneak in Empire of Sand by Tasha Shuri. I did start this a couple weeks ago and it wasn't the right time for me. So maybe now is the time. Again, it's a desert fantasy. We're following a woman who is kind of ostracized because of her heritage from her mother, and her father and her stepmother are kind of trying to put her in a different kind of box than she wants to go into, kind of thing. I was really liking this. I only made it 30 pages. 32 pages, but it wasn't right at the time, and that's when I kind of binged some of the other series. So I would like to get back to this. I don't know if I'm going to get it by the end of the month, though. So we'll see. But that is an option. And then there are many other books that I have on my radar that I would like to get to as well. I did already mark this because I filmed this twice because the cat was just annoying me so much. Sorry, I deleted that one. So I did add 3 rereads because that's what I did this week. And then I added 2 more to my series. So again, I might need to make a bigger section for continued series because between everything, I've really been focusing on my series so much. I realized that there's only 3 or 4 books that I read this so far this year that are not part of a series. Pretty amazing, actually. Anyway, so that's it. That's all I have. Anyway, what are you guys reading? Anything good? Anything, anything? I don't know. I'm in a weird mood. I don't know how today's going to go. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep Spectre. I don't know. I don't know if I want to read that book and Middle Game, and there's other books I want to read, and I'm not sure what I feel like. I don't know what I feel like. It might be just a TV day. I don't know. I might even pull out Animal Crossing and play a while. I haven't played in quite a few months, so I don't know. It's weird. We'll see how this goes. I don't know. So, sorry. My throat just all of a sudden caught allergies. Anyway, the only thing, I'll probably have a video or 2 up this week. I'm hoping to get something up for April 30th because that is my 5-year BookTube anniversary. So we'll see. I might do the BookTube birthday tag. I'm not quite sure yet. I'll have to go find and look at it. I don't know if I've ever done it. If I did, it was a couple years ago. I don't remember. So we'll see. But I'm coming up on 5 years. It's kind of amazing. Amazing how long I've been doing this. So, but just for fun, of course. So, anyway, I think that's it. My TBR looks, I'm looking at the stack of pile of possibilities. It's too big. So I don't know what I'm going to do for next month, which May is my birthday month as well. So we'll see. I have a lot of things going on, and yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so how are you guys doing? Anything good? Anything reading? Anything good? Let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.